Hello Vivians, and welcome back to the third channel. Welcome to a brand new video on a brand new series. So, I have a franchise, a format called For the Love Of. So we have a series called For the Love of Adverts. I rebranded my soap opera videos to For the Love of Soap Operas. So we can talk about them in individual state, and we have a series for it. Now we've got a new one called For the Love of Adverts. Now, this is a special type of series where we review our favourite advert. Let me just move back slightly. But because there's copyright involved in these adverts due to music more than idents are, I'm not going to be able to go, oh, let's watch. Oh, let's watch. And we're not going to be able to do that. So I'm going to have to point up there. And because these adverts are like 40 seconds, 30 seconds, I'm going to do a little bit of movement, but I'm also going to have to mute the segment so that the only audio point is the advert audio, because I'm going to have to play the advert out loud so I can hear when the 40 seconds are up. So, today we're reviewing one in a collection of many adverts that Richard Hammond did for Morrisons. But the reason why we're doing this is because Shine, whenever I think of Shine by Take That, I think of Morrisons, I think of the adverts, I think of the whole promotional period. So, this is one of my favourite adverts. We know the favourite advert will come in this series, which is Barry Scott. But we also love the Shake and Back advert. We do the shake and back, we put the freshest back. I won't be singing that. I can get the shake and back woman to do the job for us. But today we're watching this advert. Now, the advert technically doesn't have a name. Adverts don't necessarily have a name unless this certain thing. Though the Barry Scott advert is Sell It Bang. This is Morrisons. So we'll play it, and we're gonna play it now.
I'll hunt high and low for a good price on great meat. Yes, I want it fresh. Yes, I want it British. But I don't want to pay through the nose for it. Just give me a real butcher who's properly trained, someone who knows all the cuts and won't charge me an arm and a leg for them. Is that a deal?
At Morrisons, all our butchers are trained to find you the right cut at the right price.
So, there we have it. That is our advert. What do we think of that? Well, I have so many thoughts. Now, let's first of all, let's scroll through the advert to talk about the bits that I think is a little bit weird. So let's start off with our first port of call. Let me take it out of the case. First of all, let me move my case out of the way so I can actually see on my viewfinder on my phone on the floor, so we can actually see what we're doing. So this, right, is our friend, yours, Richard Hammond, who did Blast Lab, who did his quiz show, that I can't think of its entire name. He did a Comedy Central panel show, and he did Top Gear and Grand Tour and his own building work thingy-my-bobby program for Amazon Prime that I don't think anyone actually watched. But he has his podcast with his daughter. It's been on Sunday Brunch. I'm just trying to give you a little gist from the outside UK people that might not know who Richard Hammond is. So, first of all, in this advert, why is Richard Hammond? Why on earth is Richard Hammond is a good question, but why is Richard Hammond like abseiling up a cliff, which, in my humble opinion, makes no sense, because I don't know what he's doing. So then if we go further forward, it comes to the conclusion that he's dragging up a shopping trolley, which is a shopping cart in America. Let me just wait. Let me try and get you more. So why is he doing that? Why does this shopping trolley need to be up a mountain? Then you go even further, and then you see him actually pulling it up. And I'm like, well, what's this got to do with Morrisons? I know that you can find a Morrisons pretty much anywhere. They haven't got a Morrisons Extra like Tesco, but why are Morrisons trying to advocate that you can get a shopping trolley from Morrisons in the middle of nowhere on a bridge that could collapse? Look, that bridge could collapse at any moment. Why? I have no idea. It's questions that I don't even think Morrisons could answer. So then it goes on, and my next question is, how was Richard Hammond done that? And the second question is, why? So a lot of this advert, when you try and review it, it's like, none of it makes sense. When it becomes to make sense, it's when then you see Hammond in a Morrisons, and here he is, and then we get our butcher, get our butcher who's serving us our butcher meat, and he's a very happy butcher, might I add. And then you see the product on display. Finally, you see the product on display, because they're trying to get the point across that it's a British homegrown food instead of the imported meat, which is perfectly fine. But I think that if you want to get a good cut of meat by butcher, I think the customer is expected it to be locally sourced. So this is our great British great prices. So this is our second. So let me tell you, we're about 36 minutes into it. 36 seconds, sorry, and we've not had that much of actual Morrisons. Here we are again. You see the Morrisons shop in the background. Morrisons is a supermarket just like, I can't think of a US or international equivalent. So, this is the actual Morrisons now. And if we scroll towards the end, then this is our first mention that it's Morrisons, because most supermarkets look the same. Most, like your Sainsbury's, your Asda's, your Tesco's, not your Lidl's and Aldi's, they're especially different, but it's the first instance of using the words Morrisons, fresh choice for you, and it's weird. So overall, I think the advert itself, the music, Richard Hammond, is very memorable, right? Especially the music. But I just don't think a lot of it's needed. So I don't think we needed all the Richard Hammond trying to get a trolley all the way to a Morrisons that seems too far away, and not like we really care how far away his local Morrisons is to it. And I don't think we needed all that. We could have had him hanging around animals, we could have had him on a farm, we could have had him anywhere. But the advert he went for was, here's Richard Hammond, let's send him up a hill, let's make him abseil with a trolley, let's make him carry a trolley. I know it's an advert, not a lot of adverts make sense, and I know that there's a lot of CGI and a lot of... So for this was like 2009, so there wasn't a lot to go on with. And I'm thinking to myself, really, Richard? You really thought that this made sense to you and helped your career? I mean, he's now well known for a Morrisons advert, and a lot of people become mega famous from adverts. So, let's say Rob Brydon wouldn't have been where he was if he didn't start out in adverts. He would be, because he is amazing at what he does. But whereas, on the other hand, Richard Hammond was quite popular at that time because Top Gear had just been rebooted with them in it. Richard, James and Jeremy. It was a reboot because Jeremy Clarkson did it before it. Right, so in the 70s. Before the Top Gear, that's available on Netflix in the UK. Netflix, Tubi, BBC iPlayer. It's on Dave all the time. When you see that, that's not the Top Gear the first ever iteration of Top Gear. There was a time before that when Jeremy Clarkson was on it, but it wasn't him. I'll do a whole other video on the history of Top Gear, but he was really popular at that time, and he did get loads of shows for Series C, for Sky, and now he's in a renaissance where he's doing other things. So he's got stuff on Discovery Plus, YouTube, he's got podcasts, he has things on Comedy Central, he's had things on More 4 that went on to Channel 4. Well, Channel 4 that should have been on More 4. He's had highs and lows of his career. He's still doing Grand Tour for Amazon Prime at the moment. So I do think that this was a good stepping stone for his career. And what makes me laugh the most is when the advertisements, when the ad campaign for Morrisons were out, with where Take That Shine was being played underneath. There was a multiple adverts. There's one with Denise Van Outen, which is also quite good. When I was in a cafe, in the Morrisons cafe once, and I won't go into too much detail because I don't, well, I know the story, but I don't know, there's other elements around it, and one day, when I've worked out the entire gist and why I was there, I'll then be able to tell this story in a comic manner as a piece of stand-up. I think that I was there, and I was stood there, I was sat in the cafe, and all I heard on the radio, because in supermarkets, especially in the UK, Scotland, Wales, and just relatively in the close area of where the United Kingdom is, they play, I don't know if they do it in America, this is why I'm just mentioning it now, they played Shine, and all I thought of, that's the Morrisons advert, and then I find it really funny because it was in Morrisons, so every time now I drive past Morrisons, I now go, and now want to play the song as we drive past the Morrisons, or every time they play the song on like a talent program like Britain's Got Talent, for instance, I always think of Morrisons. So, there you have it. Overall, I think it was a good advert. He got the message across. I do think there was a lot of unnecessary things that were involved, and one day, if they ever thought to revise this ad campaign, they could fix some of those issues. Thank you guys for watching. Bye! Suggest an advert from the UK only in the comments section down below, because they're the ones I have more opinions of. If you want to do an international ones, just send me a load of suggestions and I'll watch them all and I'll see if I have a big enough opinion. But at the moment I'm just looking for UK only, but in the future I'll have ones from around the world. Thank you guys for watching. Bye!